the way that you're explaining it to me is if I were, and please, I do not want to be a CEO anybody, so don't don't
Yeah.
take me wrong, but you're what you're saying, and the way that you're kind of painting it to me, like, as you know, as an investor or as a board member, if I were looking at the next CEO, I would want somebody maybe that came from one of those organizations, that could be a natural step for a CDO or our chief data monetization officer, similar to, you see it so much for so long, where you see CFOs be moving into the CEO role. Is it fair to make the statement that those
Oh,
CDOs could go to CEO?
I think you look at, I mean, probably the best chief data monetization officer out there is Elon Musk,
Yeah.
right? And places like Google, these, Amazon, masters of this. Apple, Microsoft, in parts of their business, not all of them, but parts of their business. These companies realize that they are in not just in the data business, they're in the data monetization business, and they've cracked the code. I mean, think about for a second about Google, TensorFlow, right? We were just joking earlier about TensorFlow, right?
Yeah,
The,
exactly.
the single most important technology that Google has, and they open source it. Now, 99.99% of the financial analysts out there are going, what the heck? Why would you ever open source your most valuable technology? And here's a reason why, in my humble opinion, why Google did it. It's because in knowledge-based industries, the economies of learning are more powerful than the economies of scale. So by having everybody out there using TensorFlow across a wide variety of use cases, TensorFlow just gets smarter and smarter and smarter. And who is the best at leveraging TensorFlow to drive data monetization? Google. So all their competitors who are using their product are just helping Google to print more money.
No, I love that, and I totally agree, and you've almost stole my sales pitch or training pitch that I give to people. The emphasis I put on it too is, you and I know what Google uses, right? They use TensorFlow. They've open sourced it, and it's a great product. Even if you and I were the most proficient TensorFlow people on the planet, and we didn't work for Google, we don't have the data stores that Google have,
Right.
right? And so they're able to make their product better, kind of like what you were saying with Tesla. Make your product better, but you don't have the data elements to act upon it.
And they have the data sources, but they also have a different mindset. Their data scientists are not like normal data scientists. They give them a level of training that I don't think the average data scientist ever would ever appreciate and understand. I mean, most of their senior data scientists at Google are taught design thinking. Now you're going to think, design thinking, that has nothing to do with building, neural networks or anything. I said, and guess right, it's true, right? It's they understand in detail what it is they're trying to do first, and then figure out what data they need. Not to say, oh, here's what data I have, so what problems can I solve? No, how do you distinguish signal from noise if you don't know the problem you're trying to solve? And I think what you see from Google, at least in the folks I've met there, and I've not met a lot, but the ones I've met have been pretty impressive. They've got a laser focus on trying to figure out what is it we're trying to do. And then what data do we need to support that? They've reversed the process. Everybody thinks about, oh, I'm just going to gather a bunch of data and then here, tell me what's valuable in data. Well, I mean, again, how do you distinguish signal from noise in the data if you don't know what you're trying to do? So they've taken it, and yeah, they got brilliant tools and they got great data sets, but they have a different mindset. It's kind of like what Elon Musk did. He's got this whole, I mean, if you want to change the game, change your frame. Look at something different than your competition does. Look at it differently than your competition, and you've got a chance of providing some very unique, differentiated, compelling value.